Insolar recognizes that different business systems have different platform requirements. Some companies will want to build multi-sided marketplaces and control the governance and onboarding of network participants. Some groups of companies will want to build ecosystems of complementary capabilities so that they can collectively reduce transaction costs and deliver composite goods and services to the marketplace in a cost-competitive manner. There's others that will want to bind together into ecosystems to foster accelerated innovation. There are good reasons to build private networks. Members of private networks must be permissioned so that there will be some level of trust between participants. Nodes in a private network have to sign their outputs so that they're known to the rest of the network. Because the ownership of nodes is known to the network participants, there's a very straightforward basis for recourse should nodes behave badly. Smart contracts and domains can be configured to include staking of some sort so that there's skin in the game for every participant and or the people that are vouching for them. There's many different reasons to build a private network that have distinctive goals, governance, and stakeholder alignment mechanisms. As a result, these network ecosystems will want to configure their networks with distinctive rules and incentives in order to maximize the effectiveness of the network and have it operate in as efficient manner as possible. There's also a strong rationale for public networks. There will be independent freelancers, smaller economic actors that will want to be discoverable and who want to be able to engage in low-friction transactions and contribute some sort of distinctive value. There will be application vendors that will want to be able to provide application services to customers in an open marketplace. Private networks will have governance and security and onboarding considerations that are distinctive and, depending on configuration, may or may not need a token mechanism that would facilitate value exchange, ensure security, promote governance, and incentivize certain kinds of behavior. They may also need to change and evolve the governance over time as the stakeholder makeup changes and perhaps the interest or objectives change. Public networks, on the other hand, will need to be self-sustaining and much more static. They need to have a strong tokenomics-driven governance and security model and a common currency for value exchange. While the network resources of a private network may be provided by one keystone player or may be funded through membership or participation fees by the collective stakeholders of the network, the public network's resource will be provided by dedicated professional IT resource providers who are compensated through fees associated with the workload. If the network needs more resources, market forces will attract them. We believe that most network resources in both private and public configurations will be provided through cloud providers for all of the ease of use and compelling economic reasons that make cloud computing very attractive. That being said, it is possible that in both the case of public and private networks, there may be good reasons for some companies or groups of companies to want to deploy nodes on-premise. And finally, members of private networks will want or need to transact with members of other private networks or with members on the public network. There is much speculation about how this landscape will evolve, whether there will be a mosaic of specialized private networks that attach to each other through a standards-based interoperability protocol, or bridging services, or whether there will be an all-encompassing, universal trust-enabled network upon which almost all workloads are run. It may also be true that there are dedicated private networks that bridge to other private networks via the public network. This is not dissimilar to the way that internets of companies gateway to each other using the public internet or using internet-based services to facilitate transactions. Whatever the more distant future holds, it is clear that for the foreseeable future, we will need a lot of flexibility in network configuration. For this reason, Insolar has decided to support both private and public network configurations, as well as cloud or on-premise or hybrid configurations. The architecture of Insolar allows for transaction state and validation of transactions to flow between networks, thus expanding economic and partnering potential. We will also implement the inter-blockchain interoperability standards to ensure that Insolar-based networks have as many transactional options as possible available to them. Choice and flexibility should accelerate innovation and allow companies to find and then evolve the models that work best for them.